The home that disappeared. My daughter chose this title for one of her school essays, and when I heard it, I thought it was a very accurate description of what is experienced by every refugee. Now I would like to ask you a question. What is home for you? An address on the map, people living together, or maybe a place where you feel safe, comfortable, and accepted? That's what home is for me. Now another question. Have you ever thought that your home would never disappear? That it only happens somewhere far, far away? I'm asking because that's what I used to think for many, many years. To give you a better idea of what I mean, let me take you to one moment of my life. I am at my grandmother's house, visiting her in a small town of eastern Ukraine. She's cooking something in the kitchen and it smells delicious. Happy and relaxed, I'm sitting on the sofa and watching TV. The news section starts. They talk about war and people having to flee to save their lives. They show tents in the desert, miles and miles of tents. Scared people, crying children. It makes me very sad, but at the same time, it feels unreal. And I'm thinking, this is terrible, but don't worry. It is happening far, far away. It will never happen to you. Little do I know that in a few years, I will be in exactly the same situation, leaving my home and fleeing from war. And not once, but twice. But back then, I thought I was somehow immune to all those terrible things. That's why when everything started changing, it was hard, almost impossible for me to accept reality. There is a moment I still vividly remember. I need to go for groceries, so I come out in the street, but it feels like something's not right. It's hard to explain, but it's in the air. It's in people's voices and on their faces. It gives you chill you can't get rid of. In a few days, things become much worse. Tanks in the street instead of cars. Military airplanes flying over. Shooting from the rooftops. I am an optimist, but when my first shock wears off, reality hits me. My hope that it's only a nightmare gradually disappears. My ability to sleep disappears as well. And then, when I finally decide to take my kids and flee, our home disappears as well. Next thing I know, I'm standing in the middle of the train station thinking, what's next? Where are we going to go? Where do I even start? Busy people moving around. Life seems normal. It's July 2014. We are in Kiev, the capital of Ukraine. My daughter is 4 years old, and my son is a newborn baby. To form a new reality for myself, I'm thinking, okay, I'm still in my country. I have moved around a few times before. Let's just imagine I'm moving again. It doesn't work. This time it's different because I am carrying a label of internally displaced, and I have no place to go back. People around me are worried and confused. One woman comes to me and says that it's our own fault that we lost our homes and that the war started. Not the nicest thing to say or hear, but I know where it comes from. She thinks what I used to think, that it happens somewhere else, to someone else, but not to her. Fortunately, she is the only one, and most people say, "How can I help you?" They are the people who support us with paperwork, schooling, housing, and a million other things we need. It's thanks to their kindness that we managed to settle down and feel like home. It lasts for 8 years, until the moment when our life is disrupted again, brutally and unexpectedly. It's February 2022. The first thought on my mind is, no, this is not happening again. I know I've been through this before, and I can probably make it. It is still unfair, still heartbreaking, still terrifying. But this time, I don't wait for this nightmare to vanish. I take my kids and we flee, letting our home disappear again. The kindness of Romanian people is something I will never forget. As we cross the border, I see them everywhere. People who give their personal time to help us in the middle of the night. They smile and try to help us in the best way they can. They don't have to do it for us, but they still do. That's why, and thanks to them, on the other side, we get a warm meal, a bus ride, and a chance to stay and sleep or to catch the train to Bucharest. We decide to keep moving and sleep on a train. My kids are too overwhelmed with everything, but then we see more volunteers giving free toys to children. My son gets a toy fluffy hedgehog that he immediately hugs, calms down, and falls asleep with. These simple acts of kindness warm not only our bodies, they warm our hearts. While the train is moving and the kids are sleeping, I'm having a myriad of thoughts spinning in my head. Why me? What's next? Will we have enough? Will I figure it out again? We're on a go for 48 hours. Romania, Hungary, Austria, finally Germany. So here I am, standing once again in the middle of the train station. This time it's Munich. All I have is 2 children and 3 suitcases, and it feels like a déjà vu. In Germany, we decided to spend a few days with my sister and her family. And it becomes a turning point in my journey. I learned to appreciate simple, everyday things. A homemade meal, a shower and clean clothes, a nice and cozy bed. I learned to feel safe again. And despite this weird new reality I have to accept, I know that everything is going to be all right, because the world is full of kind people. I'm almost there, coming to my final destination, Sweden. Why Sweden? Because I lived and worked in this country many years ago. And when the war number 2 started in Ukraine and we had to leave, Sweden became my number 1 choice of a country to move. In Sweden, we decided to stay with my friends until I figure out our next moves. As we approach their house, my friend sees me and smiles. She comes to me and hugs me, and she says one simple thing: "Welcome home." And I feel like my home that disappeared is slowly coming back. Of course, people will be people. I meet a woman who acts like she's better than me only because she has her home and I don't have mine. Of course, I understand where it comes from. She thinks what I used to think, that it only happens somewhere else, to someone else, but not to her. Fortunately, most people say, "How can I help you? How can I help you?" They are the people who not just doing their jobs, but also people I meet in the everyday life. People who don't have to do it for us, but they still do. It's their kindness that helps us to get settled and feel like home again. It will take me another 10-minute talk to mention all those people I would like to thank for helping us in our journey. So instead, I would like to mention that fluffy toy hedgehog that my son got on the train to Bucharest. It still sits on the sofa in our living room, reminding us how precious kindness can be. The kindness of people who understand one simple truth, that life is changing quickly, and the only way to handle it is to be kind, supportive, and tolerant to each other. People who know that simple acts of kindness can take you as far as saving somebody's life and helping them feel like home. I lost my home twice. I was carrying a refugee label twice. Yet I know I am so much more than that. I'm a mother, a daughter, a colleague, a friend. I am a human who hopes that her home will never disappear again.